Watch this. Verse 15, Job 13. You've heard it before, but not like this. He says, though you slay me, yet will I trust in him. Part 2 says, even so, I will defend my own ways before him. Just for a few minutes, it really don't matter. To give you some background to Job, Job had it going on. Job come from the land of Ur, the same place where Abram comes from, or Abraham. And Job had a beautiful family, loving wife. He had land, he had cattle, he had wealth, he had respect. And God has recognized him as being upright. And God will always brag on you when you do right. Tell somebody, when you do right, God gonna brag on you. And God bragged on Job before Satan. And Satan says, I bet he'll quit. God says, no, he won't. That's my boy. My boy ain't gonna quit. Job says, let's find out. So, you know the story. So he had 7 children, God's number. They died. He had 5,000 cattle and oxen. They were stolen, 5 representing grace. He had 3,000 sheep. They got stolen, representing the Trinity. Everything that Job had in one way or another was a symbolic symbol that God was in his life. And then he had one wife. But the Bible says that the children died, all of his wealth was taken, and then in the midst of all of that, all the people that worked for him who said that they love him, they quit. In the midst of that, the love of his life looks at him and says, you ought to just cuss God out and go on and die. And then after that, he gets sick. Now his sickness, I think I should describe it to you like this. On his body, his whole body, from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet, was covered with boils. And the boils oozed out with green and yellow gook. And if he touched them, it would cause severe pain upon his body. And so the only thing that he could do to ease the pain was sit in a pile of ashes. And he would sit there, and they covered his face where he was disfigured. And now he's sitting there, and he's looking crazy, and his friends come and say to him, you done did something wrong. I know you did something wrong, Job. You just need to go on and just tell us what you did wrong, and just man up on it. Everybody make mistakes. You've been perfect all this time. Check out his friends now. His friends now have an opportunity to expose themselves. He was faithful to the people that worked for him, no matter what. He was faithful to his so-called friends, but friends, no matter what. And then he was faithful to the people who heard about him, because he always carried himself with dignity, and he was a person you can always say had integrity, no matter what. And so he's faithful. And I'm wondering today, how faithful are you in the midst of your trials? How faithful, number one, are you to God just because you got some problems? if you would, I would like for you to help me with this sermon. Whenever I point at you, I want you to say, no matter what. Job, God created you and he blessed you, and then you lost everything, but you say you love God. Okay, but you say you love God, but your children are dead. Now the thing about the children, they weren't kids, they were grown. Now it's one thing, and it's a terrible thing for a parent to lose their children, but to lose grown children, Job says, I'm still faithful to God. Job lost all his money. He went bankrupt in 1 hour. And he did not have no backup money. But he says, I'm still faithful to God. He gets sick. And he's so sick until the doctor says, I can't do nothing for you. But God says, but Job says to God, I am faithful. His wife comes to him, and she used to love him till he got sick, till he lost all his money, till his so-called friends ain't his friends no more. And all of the respect that he had was gone, but Job still was faithful to God. People said about him. And because of his faithfulness, Job says, I'm good. He said, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. So the different version of slay says, Job says, in the Message style, he says, if he killed me, I'm still going to trust in him. In the New International Version, it says, if he kills me, I'm still going to trust in him. But just for the record, I think you all should understand, God don't kill nobody. Oh, why do you say that, preacher? The only way that you end up dying is that your time clock has run out. So for you to say that God killed him would technically be incorrect. God allowed him to go through what he went through, and he felt like he was dying. Have you ever seemed like nothing is going right, and you have said to yourself, I might as well be dead? And Job was like that, because the love of his life looked at him and said, ugh, you ugly, and you broke. I'm not going to be with a broke, ugly man at no time. But you said that you love me, baby. Not no more. You might as well go on and die, kiss God and say goodbye. And so Job now is faced with a dilemma. He has been faithful to God. He has been faithful in his relationship to his wife and to his children and to his friends, even to his enemies. He was still faithful. Some of y'all missed that. Some of y'all missed that. I think we need to go back again. Let's go back again. Make sure you got this. Because, see, you got to have this mentality that I'm trying to get you to understand, that even though things might not be going well, you got to trust God.